All right, we begin by looking at the traffic situation on the road. You would have seen the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, launching the safety campaign around the festive season. Now, of course, this safety campaign is not something new. We see it each and every year when it comes to this time of the year. And also the N3 toll concession is one of those that will then be recording the high volumes of people coming in and out. There's various, of course, ports of entry that are also looking at, the traffic situation around the country. And that's where, of course, we find our reporter, Ofentse Setimo, who is on the N1 at the Carousel toll plaza near Hammanskraal. And this is in Gauteng. Ofentse, one of the things that is very critical around this time is not only about the traffic, but also one of the things that the officials have been talking about, which is quite important, and that is safety on the roads and drivers who are driving drunk.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we spoke to the Tshwane Metro Chief of Police, who also mentioned that, the fact that last festive season there were some stringent lockdown regulations. The number of road fatalities actually came down a bit. As you know, policing was very stringent, and a lot of people actually stayed home as there were some stringent regulations. But come this particular festive season, the levels have dropped a bit, so the strictness has kind of gone down. In fact, people are able to travel interprovincial and everything. So come Friday, there's going to be a lot of people on the road. So they were saying that they've analyzed the incidents that have happened previously and know the hotspots where most fatalities actually happen. And they are saying that this analysis that they have is actually going to inform their deployment of law enforcement agencies. In fact, the RTMC, which we spoke to earlier, was actually saying that there is a downward trend of fatalities. If you can look at the 2019-2020 festive season, there was about 1,600 fatalities on our roads. Then when you look at the 2020-2021 festive season, there was about 1,400 fatalities on our roads, which he attributed to the fact that to a certain extent the message is actually getting to the motorists, and law enforcement, their analysis of actually picking up all the hot spots where some of these incidents actually happen has actually proven to bear fruit. Well, where we were at the Carousel toll plaza. We are now at the Hammanskraal ramp plaza, and as you can see, there isn't much traffic at this particular moment. We've been here since midday actually trying to see the numbers, whether they're going to pick up. But at the Carousel, I can definitely say that over the past 2 hours there hasn't been a big jump in terms of the numbers of cars that would actually come in. Under normal circumstances, you would actually see a convoy of cars that actually stretches for a long distance, a long snaking distance. But in this particular instance, it's not the case. I guess there's speculation that, because tomorrow it's a holiday and people are actually going to take an early trip actually to go to their different destination. It's not the case, but it's still early. We're still going to be monitoring the N1. But as things stand, there hasn't been much big jump. In fact, the RTMC actually said on the N3, that's where most of the action is. In fact, saying that between 12 and 2, there were about 8,500 cars that were actually passing through most of the toll plazas there on the N3.
Listening to the analysis that you are painting for us, talking about the focus on the N3 and the fact that they're going to be monitoring some of these hotspots, but that is one side of what they're going to have to do. Let's talk about the boots on the ground, because that is going to be quite important. How confident are they that they're going to have enough personnel to be able to deal with any eventualities?
Yes, well, they didn't actually want to divulge too much, especially when it comes to the issue of deployment. They were shying away of actually telling us what are their strategies in order to tackle, those that are actually not obliging by the rules of the road. But what we know is that they are saying that based on their analysis of the hotspots that are there, and this is the Tshwane Metro and also the RTMC, they are saying they will be making sure that there is visibility visibility at most of the hotspots that they know that there is maybe a high death of pedestrians, or where they know that there's a lot of car crashes that happen, and they're going to make sure that, you know, once there's police visibility, that could serve as a deterrent. But they could not give us the assurity to say that based on their deployment, the deterrence could actually lead to a drop in terms of the fatalities. That they couldn't do because they are not sangomas, you know. So they actually could not predict as to what will be the outcome. But they are saying that their analysis, they are confident that with their analysis has actually brought some results, as you know, the carnage has actually dropped over the past two festive seasons. So they are saying that it's quite reliant in order to ensure that the numbers are actually going down, as they've been seeing a slight decrease over the years.
All right, Ofentse, we'll check in with you a little later on. That's where we'll leave it for now. That was SABC News reporter Ofentse Setimo, as he was coming to us live from that toll plaza there, near the toll plaza. In fact, just showing us of how the situation is. And as he says that the N3 appears to be a cause of concern here. There's high volumes of vehicles.